Hello, hello, and welcome back to Mindfully Rich Podcast, your weekly look at life and finances with a twist. I'm your host, Richie, and y'all, I know y'all think I'm on CP time, but I'm not. Let me tell you what happened. Because anytime you late, you got to always explain what happened. And so I recorded last week, y'all. Something happened to the audio where it got distorted, and so it didn't play. And I was like, what? Okay, I just couldn't believe it. Let's just say that. And so although it was a really good episode, I feel like the Lord put something else on my heart that he wanted to go into that episode. So that's the reason why that happened. You know, things happen for a reason. So I just came on back this week, and I'm so excited because I'm finally bringing you part 2 to the credit episode that I did a couple of weeks ago. Y'all know my brain has ADD, so I may not do my parts back to back. That's just how my brain think, okay? That's how I am. So to all the people who was letting me know y'all was missing the episode last week, I was too, but I was not in a position. I had lots of festivities going on. One of my fine friends, China Lovelace, it was her birthday. I was so excited. We was all out in the Bay having a great time. And y'all, I don't get out the house. My friends know I don't get out the house because I've been taking this COVID very seriously, okay? I'm the one with the mask, the shields, whatever it is, disinfecting. Soon as you come in the house, that's me, okay? And so I was so excited to celebrate China's 30th birthday. We had such a great time out in the Bay. I have never been out there like that, like I was this weekend. And so I told her we're going to have to come on back out there, y'all, because I live in California. Y'all know I'm not from here. You know, I kind of like it, not all the way, just kind of. I have my things that I like here. But I gained an appreciation for where I live, going out to the Bay all last weekend, and just had a great time. So one more time, happy 30th birthday to my fine friend, China. All right, once again, if you aren't subscribed to the podcast, make sure that you subscribe. I know you listening, but make sure you also subscribe and share. I am trying to grow the Mindfully Rich community, so please make sure you share this episode with someone that you think could use this information. It is lots of gems that I'll be dropping on these episodes. And if you're new to the podcast, make sure you follow me on Instagram. That is the social media of choice that I've chosen for the podcast. I'm at mindfully_rich_podcast. And so, y'all, let me tell you what. I've been watching this election, and child, I couldn't even go to sleep last night. I don't know what it is. It's just something about me having faith in the U.S., to elect the right president and do what's right just don't sit right with me. Lots of people have been having these memes on social media today that have been saying, it's like when you do a project with a group and you did your part, but you waiting to see if the grade gonna come back the way you need it to come back because you did what you were supposed to do. That's just like me. I voted, okay? I did my part. I'm just waiting for the rest of the votes to come in so that we can see, did the rest of y'all do what y'all was supposed to do, okay? So other than the election, I got so much stuff to talk about with y'all today. If you didn't check out the episode, 2 weeks ago? I normally don't like to go over it just because the episodes are really short and sweet. Today gonna be a little bit longer just because I got a lot to talk about with y'all because it has been time for me to talk about credit repair, and I can't wait. I told y'all, if you listen to the podcast often, you know that credit is one of my favorite financial topics to talk about. And so we're going to go ahead and move into the Mindful Money Moments segments. And our music title inspiration comes from Rick Ross, Blowing Money Fast, and it is the Truth About Credit Repair and Debt Settlement episode. Y'all know I love these long titles. I'm a wordy person. I love to talk. Deal with it. Okay? And so we're going to go ahead and move into that. And so the first credit episode that I did, it had to be about, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago. And it was, did someone with bad credit say something episode, right? Y'all know how I am with titles, okay? That's Moneybag Yo song, okay? So it was on that episode that I talked about why you need credit, why it's important, how you access it, and for the most part, how you get it, you know? And if you didn't listen to that episode, listen to that one first and then come back to this one. And then I ended that episode by talking about the 5 things that your credit score is made up of, those factors that go into your actual credit score. So y'all may be looking at this and you may be listening in the beginning like, I'm going to cut this off. This ain't important to me. Check this out. Credit is important. It's so important, but a lot of people don't see that it's important until they really need it. So I'm going to need y'all to just go ahead and sit down, take out a pen and paper, and listen to what's being said today, okay? Because it's a lot about credit that I really want y'all to understand. And that way you won't have to spend money blowing money essentially on things that you really don't have to pay for when it comes to your credit. All right. And so I wanted to start by talking about these credit repair agencies or these people who do credit, whatever it is that they supposed to be doing. Like, it cracks me up. I've been in this industry. I'm young, but I'm old, right? It's so funny how that works. Like, I've been in the financial industry for 14 years and I feel like I've been here like 2 lifetimes. It's crazy because all of a sudden on social media, I remember when it was all of these credit repair people just popping up, right? It was like roaches just popping up everywhere, right? And I was like, yo, like, do they even know anything about credit? But like, they everywhere and people were recruiting people. I can remember people would hit me up like a couple of years ago when I used to be on social media heavy, y'all. Like, I was posting, giving all the tips, doing all the things, right? And people would hit me up like, oh, you could be one of my agents and blah, blah, blah. One of your agents, what? Excuse me? Not with all of the skills that I have and all of the things that I do. I'm an educator. I'm not anyone's credit repair agent. So I had to start there. But what I do like to do is give y'all the information about these quote unquote credit repair agencies. And so the one thing that I'll say in my experience from people that I know that have used these services, they've always come back to me and said they didn't do A, what they thought that they would do, B, what they were supposed to do, and C, charge them all this money while not doing A or B, right? And so I know that it's a kind of a scheme game out there for some of these credit repair agencies. I'm not going to say all of them are bad because I don't know and have not used all of them before. But what I do know from being in this industry is that all of the things that a credit repair agency is telling you that they can do, or whatever it is that you're expecting them to do, you can do yourself. Hear me again. Whatever it is that you want a credit repair agency to do, you can do yourself. And so I want to dig deep into that real quick with y'all so that we can talk about it. All right. So normally when someone thinks that their credit is challenged, they're thinking that they need to, I don't know what y'all thinking, to be honest with you. Whenever you feel, when you say my credit is bad, my credit is challenged, to be honest, I don't know exactly what you mean by that. But I always know that for me, being in this industry, being a previous underwriter and knowing credit the way that I know it, and also being a person who answered credit disputes for an actual financial institution, I know that when someone thinks that their credit is bad, it's really not bad. I see a project that can be completed. Like I see a roadmap. For me, that's what I see. But you see something that's bad. And so what you're seeing that's bad is you either see a lot of inquiries on your credit report, which means that you were either looking to obtain credit from somewhere, because before anyone gives you credit, they have to pull your credit report. And so that's an inquiry. You also may see what's called late payments. Late payments fall in these categories. They're either 30, 60, 90, or 120 day lates that you see on your credit report. Now, those I can understand. When you see that, yes, but it's not something that can't be fixed. Okay, so just want to put that out there. And then also, if you're looking at something that's bad, you may see that your credit cards are just charged up to the limit. Right? That's also something that can be fixed. And so I want to break down for those people out there who are looking to quote unquote fix their credit before you obtain one of these credit repair, quote unquote, agencies or people to do so. All right. And so when you're starting this process of, I need to fix my credit, right? You first need to pull your credit report. You need to see what's on there. It shouldn't be anyone that contacts a credit repair agency before they've seen what's actually on their credit report. And I know some of you may say, I don't know how to read it. Just take some time. It's just like reading. That's something we all learned. It's just reading. It's going to say an account, which you should know of. Okay. And it's going to tell you, all right, this is what this account's information details. That's it. People crack me up when they say, I don't know what I'm looking for. What do you mean? You're reading. You're reading to see what it says and if you agree with what's being said. That's it. Okay. And so what you're looking for when you pull your credit report is the information accurate? Is that information that's showing accurate? Is your name, is your address, your social security number, is the information that's showing? If you have a credit union credit card, is that credit union credit card listed the correct way? If you have a bank credit card or Capital One or any of these other companies, is it listed correctly? Does it have the right limit? Is it showing the right payment history for you? You know, if you pay your bills on time, that is not a shock. Okay, so if it shows that you're late and you know you pay on time, that's something that needs to be disputed. Okay, you're also looking to see just is the accuracy of when it was open correct? You're looking to see if anything has been open on your credit report that you weren't aware of, because identity theft is a real thing. Okay, so many scammers in this world. We know this. Okay, and so you're looking for those things. You want to check those things to see if it's accurate. And if it's not accurate, that's when you can do what's called a dispute for your credit report. You're also looking to see the payment history. Is that right? I was late one time, not 3 times. Okay, that's a big difference. You need to get that updated. So all of those things that I just mentioned, that's what you're looking for. And if anything is wrong, that's when you dispute it. And the dispute process is so easy. It's very easy. When you're disputing an account because it's inaccurate of any sort, you go to that website of that credit report, because the 3 major credit reporting agencies are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Experian being my favorite because they follow me on the gram. Okay. Small flex. Okay. Wait till they sponsor me. Bigger flex. Okay. And so you go to those, you could just go to Google and type dispute Experian credit report, dispute Equifax credit report, dispute TransUnion credit report, because there are 3 and you need to check all 3 of those credit reports to ensure that the information is accurate. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, why I got to check all 3? Because you got to, because it's yours. I get it. Credit is not the most interesting thing. But when you trying to get a car, it is. When you trying to take out a loan, it is. When you want a house, bet believe it is. Okay, so you want to ensure that you're looking at all 3 of those credit bureau reports, because that is where the information, that's where it goes. That's the information that's at those 3 major credit reporting agencies. They transfer that information off to these lenders when you go to apply for a loan. So that's the reason why you have to check all 3 of them, because all 3 of them matter. Okay. And when you do that dispute, it's also simple. It'll say, which account do you want to dispute? You click the account you want to dispute and you give them the reason. That's it. I know some people think it's rocket science. Check this out. I don't know how to do rocket science, but I can do credit like a mug. Okay, let me tell you what I do. I understand credit. So if I understand it, I know that y'all should be able to understand it, because I can't even do a lot of the hard thinking things. Okay, so I know that y'all can also get it as well. And when you do that dispute, these companies do it directly with the credit bureaus. They got 30 days, y'all, 30 days, a month to get that cured up for you. right? I know lots of y'all want to send the letters to the companies first. You need to change this and all this other stuff. I'm one of those people. I like to just go straight to the head. Okay. I don't have time to argue with a company or do any of those things. I go straight to the credit bureaus. They lying over there. Fix it. That's how I am. Okay. And if you one of those people like me, go straight to the credit bureaus to do it. You wasting a whole bunch of time, because when you send a letter in to a lender, let's say it's a Wells Fargo, a Chase, or whatever your finance company is or lender is, you send that letter to them. Who is that letter going to? Did you even check? Do you get any receipt of it? Do you know how long that's going to take? Did you call them? Did you ask them? Did you do any of those things? Probably not. But let me tell you what I do know. And this is also published on the credit bureau's pages. It takes 30 days for them when you submit that online and you have an actual receipt of it saying that this process has to be started. So I'm just giving you a faster way to get your disputes done if you're looking for that. When you're looking at your credit report and you're quote unquote wanting to fix it because you think it needs to be repaired, you're looking to see what your credit card balances are. People don't talk about credit card balances as much. I talk about it all the time. Okay. I'm talking about people now. Okay. And so when it comes to your credit card balances on your credit report play such a huge role in deciding what your credit score is going to be. If your balances if you're using 30% or more of your available credit, meaning if you have $1,000 credit card and you're using over $300 and that balance is being reported month after month, the more over 30% that balance goes, the more your credit score is gonna go down. Rewind that if you need to hear that again, okay? That's a tongue twister for me to say twice. It just is, okay? So you want to ensure that if you're using a credit card, that the most responsible way to use it is to pay those credit cards off monthly. Use the credit card only when you have the money to pay it off, just because a huge part of our credit score is determined by the balances that we keep on our credit cards. Okay. The biggest factor of our credit reports, how our credit scores are determined, is from the payment history. So you don't ever want to be late, and you also don't want to have balances over 30% in relation to your available usage on those cards. I know that was a lot. You're going to have to rewind it so you can hear it again. You just are. So when you're looking at those balances on your credit card, if you are one of those people who has more than 30% usage in relation to your limit, meaning, once again, I have $1,000 credit card, I'm spending more than $300 on this credit card, or I have more than $300 on this credit card, and that balance is just sitting there month after month after month, your credit score isn't going to go down until you're able to bring those balances down on your credit cards. Unfortunately, that's just where it's at. You could be paying all your bills on time and you only have this credit card balance issue going on. But until those balances come down, your credit score is going to stay stagnant or low. That's just facts. So when you're looking at, so say you're one of those people right now, I'm looking at my credit report, I have a low score, I pay my bills, but I got big balances. You have to figure out, how are you going to either consolidate that credit card debt so that you can take that credit card debt off of those cards and consolidate it into a personal loan so that you now have that one payment to pay that back, or B, find out a way that you're going to pay down those credit cards one by one. Now, there are strategies that you can use. There's something called the debt snowball method that you can utilize to pay down credit card debt. You can use debt snowball for actual loans, too. I know people use it for student loans, because think of student loans. Most of us have multiple of them, right? And so when you don't want to consolidate that debt into one loan, you can use strategies to pay those off, like the debt snowball, which is taking the lowest balance that you have on either a credit card or a loan, paying down on that first, and minimum payments to everything else until you get that paid off. Then you move on to the next. Or you can use the debt avalanche method, which is a strategy, and you pay off the credit card or loan that has the highest interest rate first, and then you're making like double payments or whatever the payments it is that you deem good to pay it off in whatever time frame you've picked. And then you're paying minimum payments to everything else until you get that one thing paid off and then move on to the next items. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing for everybody. It's going to sound confusing, but check this out. You can rewind and listen to it again. So I just want to make sure that I'm telling y'all, when it comes to these credit repair agencies, let me let you know what they can't do. They can't remove items on your credit report that are accurate. Hear me clear. They can't do it. If they tell you, yo, I got the connect, Jesus gonna help me do it. No, they lying. They cannot do that. They can try just like you can try. But by law, they can't remove anything that's accurate on your credit report. So that means if you have inquiries that you've done, if you have accounts that you've opened up, credit cards, those are considered accounts, loans, those are all accounts. All of those things, they cannot be removed. Or let's get into the collections. That's another reason why people seek out these credit repair agencies. If you have collections on your credit report, or you have charge-offs, or you have what's called public records. Public records are that child support that may be on there that got ordered to be put onto your credit report. Also, if you have liens, tax liens, or if you have any debts that you owed companies and they sued you and they now have it on your credit report as a public record to let people know, whomever is checking your credit report, that you didn't pay this debt. Those are all things that are listed that people think that they can get removed, but if they're accurate and they're not within their time frame to be removed, they can't be removed. So I'll say that again. Collections, charge-offs, and public records, they can't be removed from your credit report if they are still within their statute of limitation of time that they're supposed to be on your credit report, or if they are accurate. Okay, and collections, charge-offs, and public records, they remain on your credit report for 7 years. 7 years, that's a long time to hold a grudge. Okay, and so the thing that I would say is, especially since we in this pandemic, check to see if that collection, if you have one, if that company has went out of business. They can't answer a dispute if they went out of business. It's your time. Go ahead and dispute that. Get that thing removed, because they can't answer a dispute if they're no longer in business. So that's something you definitely want to make sure that you do. If you have a charge off, why not dispute it? Just to see if they being nice. All right, y'all, I've been talking for a minute, so let's go ahead and recap. So I wanted to make sure that I stress what credit repair agencies and people, what they can't do. They can't remove anything that's accurate on your credit report. That's something that I've said already, but I want to do this review and a recap for y'all just to ensure we still together. So with that being said, if you're trying to get them to remove something that's accurate, you might as well go ahead and stop. And I also let you know some things that you can do yourself so that you can fix or quote unquote repair your own credit, starting with pulling your own credit report, ensuring that everything is accurate. Because check this out. If your credit report is inaccurate, your credit score is inaccurate. And so you want to make sure that all of the accounts are right. Start there. Make sure your personal information is right. Make sure you don't have any public records, which are the collections, charge-offs, or things like that. You want to make sure all of those things have just your information. If it doesn't, then you need to dispute. I told you how easy it was for you to dispute your own credit report. You don't have to hire anybody to do any of those things. You could do it for the free, okay? Do it yourself. So you're checking all of those things. But if you're still in a position where everything is accurate on your credit report, you've been paying your bills on time, your score is still low, and you're looking for other things that you can do, that's when you want to make sure that your payment history has been stellar. You're not having any 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, or 120-day lates. You also want to make sure that your credit card balances are under 30% usage, right? Those are the two things that will help your credit score the most. The two things that determine your credit score the most is your payment history and the balances that you keep on your credit cards, and if they're over 30% usage in relation to the limit that you carry. All right, y'all. So that's the truth on credit report. I'm sorry. the truth on credit repair agencies and what it is they can and can't do and what you can do for yourself. But I also want to talk about these debt settlement companies. Oh my goodness, y'all. I have had so many people come to me and talk about all of the nightmares that they have had dealing with debt settlement companies. Now, for those of y'all out there who don't know what these companies are, they are, so some of the ones that I've heard of, they will tell you, you sign up for them to now take over the management of your accounts or your loans, whatever it is that you have. So say you have some credit cards and you have some loans, you're no longer able to pay these things, or you feel like paying them isn't worth it because you're not going to ever get these balances down. And so what these companies do is they will have you sign up. Well, not really. It ain't like they put a gun to your head and make you sign up. You sign up for these companies for them to do whatever it is you think that they're supposed to do. But what it is that they do is they have you stop paying on these bills, which is something you can do without them telling you to do that, or you paying somebody to tell you to do that, right? And so you stop paying on your bills, and then they work for you to work with your lenders so that they can make essentially payment arrangements on your loans, on your accounts for you at a lower payment. You can do that yourself. These debt settlement companies will have you paying them to do something that you can do yourself. It's much cheaper because think about it like this. If you're paying a debt settlement company because you're saying you can't pay these bills, why are you paying a debt settlement company? Don't you need that money? That's what I heard. I hear it that you are considering debt settlement because you don't have the money anymore. So why are you now paying someone to do something that you can do yourself? Y'all, I just feel very passionate about that. That's what you hear in my voice. Passion. Okay, because I want y'all to save money. I want y'all to be mindfully rich. Okay. And so with these debt settlement companies, the biggest complaint that I've heard is they're not paying enough towards that bill. It's going to take me so long. I'm paying a lot in fees to them because you do have to pay them a fee for handling all of these credit cards or loans that you have, for having that, what they call like an escrow account, where you send them money and they put that money into an account and they divvy that up to pay the bills for you. Y'all, you can do that yourself. A debt settlement company is like a quick fix. It's like not even putting a Band-Aid on like a cut, right? It's just sitting there. It's like when you pat, like, you know how you put some spit on your hand and you like pat that the scrape that you have. I know this is like a crazy analogy, but that's the one that came to my mind. I know, ill, but that's the one that came to my mind. That's what it's like. That's what you're doing. And so I want y'all to really consider, if you're in a situation where your debt has become too much for you, I'm going to have an episode coming up on what it is that you can do to pay that debt off. But what I do want you to do is sit down, take inventory of all of your debts that you have, and call those companies and see what payment arrangements you can make with them first. Don't contact these debt settlement companies. Don't start paying anyone to do something that you already have proven and shown that you don't have the money to pay for. Call these companies. Take inventory of every single debt that you have yourself. Call these companies and see what they can work out with you so that they can either lower your payment, lower your interest rate, make payment arrangements of any sort, so that way you can make those payments back without acquiring a debt settlement company. And that's kind of all I'm going to give on there. So, y'all, this has been a long episode and y'all done stayed around for the ride. I truly appreciate it. And so we're going to go ahead and move into our financial self-care tip of the week. And so make sure y'all are being kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. Take time this week and do one thing that you want to do. Y'all remember, self-care is not selfish, and we are living in those are the times, right? The times are called woo right now, okay? And so make sure that you take some time out to do something for yourself. Care for yourself. That's the tip. And y'all, I'm so excited about this weekend. I got to give a shout out to my fine friend Bubblegum. Her birthday this weekend. I roll with a gang of Scorpios. So this weekend, I'm super excited that we're going to be celebrating her. All of my fine friends are in town this week, so we're going to have a great time. And then next week, child, I'm so excited. I'm going to my best friend of 31 years, coming up on 31 years, My best friend Reese, her birthday is next week. I told y'all I roll with a gang of Scorpios, okay? Her birthday is next week, so I will be in H-Town. Super excited. I love Houston. Okay, that's a place that, I'm looking at. I would love to move there. Lord, if it's in your will, okay? So I can't wait for all of that going on. But now I'm just rambling. So make sure y'all follow me on IG at mindfully_rich_podcast. Make sure you also subscribe. Share this episode with everybody. Everybody needs to hear it. And in the words of my favorite YouTuber, that's all I got, ain't got no more. And until next time, when I hit y'all with another one.